While each participant on my 600-pound life faces the consequences of being overweight, some of the guests have their own families which were impacted from their parents' obesity. Most of them don't mean to be bad parents, but it's hard when you weigh such a heavy weight. Today, we take a look at the craziest parents on my 600-pound life. Be sure to watch this entire video, as you won't want to miss out on what we have today. Also, leave a like and subscribe to the channel to never miss a single upload. That being said, let's get right into it. Pauline. At 50 years old, Pauline is pretty much completely immobile. She needs help with pretty much everything. Her niece comes over a couple times a week to help her in the bathroom, but her full-time caretaker and the real victim of this episode is her 21-year-old son, Dylan. As Pauline's only child, he has done pretty much everything for her his whole life. Everything from cooking, grocery shopping, to hauling her in the van and taking her down to Houston to meet Dr. Now. Dylan says that he loves his mother, but can't wait for the day that he will no longer have to help her with every single thing she does. That's reasonable. Pauline is well aware of the damage and notes that the last 6 years must have been miserable for Dylan. She knows that she could ruin her son's life alongside her own if she doesn't get any help. It's definitely pretty heartbreaking to get to the end of her episode and see Dylan still taking care of his mother and looking just plain out miserable. Jeanne's mother. Jeanne Covey was 39 years old when she appeared on the show. Because of her heavy weight, she has to live with her parents. Jeanne relies on her parents for daily tasks, such as cleaning and, of course, bringing her food. Well, she eventually got to over 700 pounds before she decided to make an appearance for Dr. Now. Dr. Now points out that Jeanne's eating habits are completely her responsibility, and that she has to make much better choices if she wants to turn her life around. But her parents try to twist the story, lying that their family eats very healthy. Ashley. Ashley's weight reduced her mobility so much that she relies on her 5-year-old son to do pretty much everything for her. Well, as you all can probably tell, things definitely are not looking right here. With her truck driver husband gone most of the week, most of the chores are put to the 5-year-old son. This includes laundry, and even bringing Ashley her food. Essentially, his childhood was replaced with being his mother's servant. Ashley also admits that she's scared that her son may be picking up some of her bad eating habits. Now, we do have to give Ashley some credit, as she definitely isn't the worst offender on the show. Plus, in the end, she does end up losing some significant weight, as well as becoming a better mother to her 5-year-old son. But the fact that her son is pretty much doing everything for her is pretty concerning, and she is definitely someone we had to include on this list. Bethany. 40-year-old Bethany started off her episode by stating that despite her weight and health issues, she just cannot sit down and do anything because she is a mom of 2 kids. But in her episode, we see her daughter putting on Bethany's socks as she sits down. She also relies on her 18-year-old, Isabella, to be the mother in the family around the clock. She cooks, cleans, shops, and takes care of Bethany's younger daughter, Zoe. Despite doing basically everything, Isabella states that she would do anything for her mom because she loves her. Bethany even admits herself that she doesn't feel like a contributing member to the family, as she is unable to do much herself. Well, you'd think this would be a wake-up call for Beth, but unfortunately, as we can see at the end of the episode, it doesn't appear she has done much to change herself. Penny. Penny's son, Liam, loves his mother dearly, but at over 500 pounds, she really can't do anything to help him or care for him. She can only really parent him from bed. That meant she never attended his school functions or taekwondo practice. But what's even more sad is the fact that Penny's sister Ashley had to get on the show to state that her son Liam might have to see her mother dead before he even turns 10 years old. Penny claims she wants to lose weight because she wants to see Liam have a full-time mother like the rest of his friends. However, after 10 months of her weight loss plan with Dr. Now, Penny is still too immobile to attend Liam's kindergarten graduation. So much for giving your son a full-time mother. Imagine that for a second. Your mom can't even attend your graduation because she didn't even make the effort to lose the weight. However, we move on, and Penny claims that she has already been a better mother than any other mom who has to leave the house to go in the workforce. She also claims that she promises to attend Liam's next event. But, in the end, Penny excuses her lack of weight loss stating that she doesn't have to be an ideal weight because Liam has already seen what she will do for him and that he's supposedly proud of her. Well, Penny, I'm not sure if that's the case here. James K. When he appeared on the show, James K. had been bedbound for over 3 years. He relies on his girlfriend Lisa, as well as his daughter Bailey, to help him with everything. James developed cellulitis on both of his legs, resulting in him yelling a lot at his helpers due to the pain this disease endures. Definitely not a pleasant situation for anyone. James admitted that he knows it must be devastating for his daughter Bailey and can tell by just the way she looks at him. He even states that Bailey's mother had to pull her out of school just so she could help with James and his condition. Despite feeling that her father should be the caregiver, Bailey accepts that she is the helper because she doesn't want to just let her dad pass away. To make things worse, she is miserable knowing that her father has things even worse and that he's too helpless to do anything about it. Mila. After having her oldest son with her husband Elroy, Mila wanted more children, but the problem was she was already pushing 500 pounds. Well, instead of getting her weight under control like any normal parent would, they still opted for adoption, dooming their new kids to a life of caregiving. Due to her severe lymphedema, Mila hadn't stood up for over 2 years, and her husband's own health conditions prevented him from helping her out. Instead, her 3 kids have to wake up every morning before sunrise just to give their mother a bath. One of her daughters, Hannah, admits that she is depressed and that they don't always want to get the stuff their mother requests from the grocery store, but they have to because Mila will get mad at them. Well, maybe if Mila would help herself and try to change her weight, things would be different. Megan Davis's mother. 24-year-old Megan Davis lives with her mother Donna. Donna cooks for her every morning and night and pretty much cares for her every step along the way. However, it appears Donna may have been feeding Megan a bit too much considering her obesity. Donna knows that food is a comfort for her daughter and simply wants her to be happy. But sometimes it doesn't work out that way, especially when your daughter is fatally obese. She pretty much just lets her eat whatever she wants to eat. Well, you'd think things would get a little bit better after visiting Dr. Now, but as they review their diet at the dinner table, a week after her appointment, Donna asks Megan if she wants a little bit of bacon to go alongside her salad. Yes, you heard that right. Bacon. Later on, as Megan makes an effort to exercise and stick to the strict diet, she essentially points out that her mother has been making things even harder. Well, Dr. Now calls Donna out at the next appointment for enabling her daughter to cheat on his diet and making excuses for not losing any weight. After all this, things don't get better as Megan's mother continues to order takeout fast food and allows Megan to eat unhealthy. I wonder what goes through this mom's head. Is it really that hard to help your daughter who is in danger of dying from obesity? Randy. When fans first met Randy, he weighed in at over 640 pounds. But the guy from Texas was quite different from other cast members. His eating addiction wasn't founded in an abused childhood. In fact, he loved his dad, but his dad was a sports coach, and Randy excelled at sports. Expecting him to maintain a good amount of weight for the playing fields, he was encouraged to bulk up, but by the time he appeared on the My 600 Pound Life show, it impacted his lifestyle. Randy became dependent on his family for almost everything. He also had a young daughter who was suffering due to the fact that Randy couldn't take care of her. Now, unlike many people on this list, Randy was able to get himself back on track and actually follow Dr. Now's advice. But to see his daughter in such a bad living situation is sad.